Hi, in this video, we will see how to use Azure Update Manager for Windows Server 2019 patching. In this video, I will show you like what is the configuration that you need to maintain on the Windows Server 2019 so that it will get scoped in the Azure Update Manager. In the Azure Update Manager, which is a global update manager service in the Azure. In that one, we will see like how to configure the maintenance window configurations in the Azure Update Manager, which will dynamically scope this Windows Server 2019, which we're going to create here, and then maintains the required updates on this Windows Server automatically. So in this video, we will have a real-time demo. So keep watching this video until the end. Now, currently I'm in my Azure subscriptions and I'm in virtual machine pane. I'm creating an example Windows Server 2019 machine, giving it name equal to Windows Server 2019, right? And then here I'm selecting the the image as you see, that is 2019 data center, right? And using the bare minimum the configuration that is of BS1. And then here we're going to use one the username and password, which I have already kept here. So let me use those user ID and password to create a VM. So why do I'm showing you the VM creation here is, this is also an important task, which can help you, like, how you need to maintain your Windows Server configuration, so that, especially in this case, Windows Server 2019, right? So that it gets automatically scoped in your the maintenance window configuration. So now what I do is, let me try to go fastly, right? So let me go to the next one, disk. Let it be whatever it comes, default. So let me use it, the standard SSD only. So, and yeah, for now, let's go with the default one. In the networking, so for now, I'm going to have an IP address, because, because the virtual machine need to have the access to the internet so that it gets the required patches downloaded. So that is the prerequisite. That's the reason I'm keeping it default here. And then the rest all option, I'm going to keep it a default. Next one. So this is the important part I wanted to show you, while configuring your virtual machine, or basically deploying your virtual machine. You need to make sure that you follow certain things, right? And because of, if you miss certain things here, it will actually impact in the Azure Update Manager. That's the reason this is the main important point. So here in the guest OS update, so here, here you see that patch orchestration options. So in this one, instead of automatic, which is that is the best scenario for the wire interruption workload, something like that. Okay. Here we're gonna use the manual update. So why manual update? Because we are customizing the patch cycle. In the sense, we are customly defining our maintenance configuration like that. So this is the, I wanted to show you in this, the VM provisioning. So let me go quickly to the next options without being delay here. And in the tags, so basically there are two important configuration that you need to maintain while you are creating a virtual machine is in the management. So there you choose the patching equal to manual, and in the tag we're going to add a tag such a way that it is being configured in the maintenance window. So we're going to use a tag with the key called environment and value equal to dev. So we're going to keep a constant key and value tags on this virtual machine, and the same you will be defined in the Azure Update Manager's maintenance window configuration, so that the maintenance window automatically discovers this VM through its dynamic scoping definitions. So that is what I wanted to show you. So rest all is fine. So now I'm going to go ahead and try to review and create. So while creation takes a certain amount of time, so I'm going to go on a pause and come back. So while my machine is being deployed, let's go to the other service, that is basically other part of this demo, that is, which is basically a major part of the demo, that is Azure Update Manager. To find the service, you go to the search resources, that is main search bar, and just search like Azure Update. Just search with like Update Manager, right? And then you're gonna see that service with the gear name. So you see that there is a gear icon for that one. So you need to go to the service that is Azure Update Manager. So in this one right now, we don't have any virtual machines right now. It is getting created. So it is on the other side. As soon as it is getting created, the Update Manager is discovering that. But when it is discovering, you see that there are a lot of options, that is update status equal to there are no updates data, and then the operating system is getting displayed. Patching orchestration is manual because we chosen the manual, and that is what we need. Then the periodic assessment, there is nothing. Associated schedules, so associated schedules are not available now because we have not yet created. Now to create that, let's go to the the pending update. So here you don't see anything in the history. You're gonna see the old one, right? So you can ignore the old one. So those are all the old one. Now being from the virtual machine, so there is an option called maintenance configuration. So we're going to click on that maintenance configuration. So remember that maintenance configuration is an independent configuration that gets integrated with the Azure Update Manager. And that maintenance configuration is plays a vital role. It's basically a policy that you define how your system will be patched, right? So in this case, we are looking for Windows Server 2019 class of machines. So we're going to create a maintenance configuration quickly here. Let it be my subscription, and then let me call it as a the test W2019. So let me call it as a W2019 maintenance window, right? And then my region. So if I go to my machine, looks like machine has been created, so we don't need to wait. Now my machine is sitting in Southeast Asia, so let's create that in Southeast Asia only. And then maintenance scope. So here in the maintenance scopes, this is one of the important the configuration that you need to choose. You need to choose guest. The maintenance, you see that there is an option called guest in bracket Azure VM arc enabled VMs forward slash servers. So you're gonna choose that. And then in the reboot settings, so you're going to choose it as a reboot if required, which is standard recommended one. And then we go to the schedule. So what is the schedule defines is basically, here is the way you're going to say like how frequently this patching cycle has to occur. At an enterprise level, we have seen that patching is generally happens once in a month or basically once in a fortnight, right? So in this case, as part of the demo, I'm just going to keep it like for one cycle only. So I'm going to choose this today's time because I wanted to show you that it actually scopes that VM, assesses the VM, and also applies the patches. So that's the reason I'm giving the immediate start time here. But in your case, you can give it as on needed. So let me give the current time, that is basically, you see that it is 17. So I'm going to give it as 17:15 or 17:20, right? So basically we need a 20 minutes. So I'm going to give it as a 20 minutes, right? And then the maintenance window. So maintenance window is a duration that you need to define in which the basically applying the patches on your server will be carried out. So and then below one, that is a repeat. So repeat is basically how frequently this patching cycle has to run in. Okay, and rest all is as you can read on the summaries. Okay, so with that, we are good. We're gonna save it, and the definition of whatever you have selected can be re-seen here. Now let's go to the resources, which is basically a very important topic. So resource is an option within this maintenance configuration which can help you to dynamically, or basically can help you to explicitly choose the resources underneath this maintenance configuration that you can always do here, right? For now, let's not use that. I'm interested in the dynamic scope, which is basically the enterprise standard way of defining the maintenance configuration. So we're going to choose our resource, that is basically we're going to choose our subscription, that is I have one subscription, but in your case it could be a management group, it could be multiple subscriptions. Now in the filter by, I'm going to choose on that select filter by. We're going to dig down and try to define a particular filter that is by resource group. Then the resource, that is basically of course the virtual machine, not Azure Arc virtual machines. Then the location is we have seen that location equal to Southeast Asia. So this is my location. If I can revalidate it, that is Southeast Asia zone 1. So we selected the location. Okay, remember that don't select all location because it's going to throw the error. In the OS type, you're going to choose it the Windows one, and then the next one is a tag. So here is the tag. We're going to add the same tag which I explained earlier, right? So you're going to use the name equal to environment, and let's cap it as a dev. So basically, when your application has multiple virtual machines and different environments, I would recommend you to create the maintenance window for each environment differently, so that they are patched differently, and you're gonna see what is the how your VM how your application behaves post patching. Okay, and that's the reason it is recommended to have a different patching cycle for different environment. So we have chosen that, so and it is automatically scoping it because it is qualifying that tag, that is right? Environment equal to dev. So we're gonna just go ahead and save it, right? And then it says that change is required options of schedule. Okay, now let me just save the configuration. All right, and then let's go to the update. So in the updates, so basically this is also one more important configuration that you need to take care while defining the maintenance configuration. So in this one, include update classification. So here you're gonna choose the classifications of the updates. So in this one, I'm gonna choose it whatever it comes for Windows machine. But you see that there are a lot of the update classes. In this one, you need to choose which is needed. For now, I'm gonna choose it also that I can show you the demo, right? Now, in the other option that is include KB. So for example, say instead of using the update classification, which is basically like look like an whole, at a whole level. But if you want to keep it like to a particular KBs, you can also still do that. And then the other one, say for example, out of certain classes, you are want to exclude the certain KBs, right? So that you can do it here, right? Which is basically converse of what we have seen in the include KB. These are all needed for specific patch management. In a sense, these kind of configurations help you during the emergency patching and all. Now let's go to the next one, that is event and tags. I'm going to keep it default. And then right now you see that it is currently finally validating it, and I'm going to click on create the maintenance window. So once I click on the deploying the maintenance window, it's going to create that within a while, and then then we should be able to see that options available in the Azure Update Manager. So right now you see that it is currently getting deployed, and it was very quick. Now let me go to the Update Manager again, Azure Update Manager. And if I go to the machines, earlier we have seen that it was associated, was null, or it was not associated to any other schedules. Right now it is associated. Okay, so which is good sign basically. And here we also don't see any kind of warning, which is actually a good sign. Okay, now there are two methods that you can start assessing the patches, possible patches available on this Windows Server 2019, right? That is by selecting this machine, and there is an option called check for the updates, which you can do. But again, if you don't do this, that is not a problem, because the schedule, that is basically the schedule that we have defined, it will automatically do that. Now on the Windows Server side, let me take you to the one more important configuration that you need to keep a tab on it. That is basically, if you go to the operations here, underneath that there is something called updates. In the updates, you see that. So in the updates right now, we don't have anything recommended updates. History is nothing. Scheduling is nothing, right? But scheduling, yeah, of course, there is a one schedule, or basically maintenance window is getting scope. Now, as part of the demo, what I do is I'm going to manually trigger the check for the updates. But in your case, according to the schedule, the assessment gets auto triggered, and then of course the installation of the updates also gets auto triggered. For now I have started that manually, so that to cover up in the maintenance in this particular video, right? Now you see that there is an assessment, it is in progress, that you can see it, right? Look at for Windows 2019, because this video is for Windows 2019. Now in the other side, in the VM page, okay, remember that, don't get confused. So I'm in the VM service page blade. Okay, so if I go to the virtual machine blade of the Azure, right, then I go to the my machine, that is Windows Server 2019. I gave the name equal to Windows Server 2019, and then we go to the operations, and then go to the updates one. Now we should see something running here. You see that there is an assessment is in progress. So this assessment will take some time, so we're going to go on a pause and come back. Okay, so waiting for just for just for 1 minute, you see that assessment has went green. So for my Windows Server 2019, which was reporting to this, now the scanning has went green. Now you see that as a result of that, the Azure Update Manager has dynamically identified that there are four possible updates. Why four? Because I have chosen all, right? So that's the reason the number of updates are more. But if you are chosen for particular class of the updates, you might have the less one, right? So now you see that these are all the updates that it needs to be installed. It has the updates for Windows Server, this one, then the malicious software removal, cumulative updates for .NET versions, security intelligent updates for Microsoft Defender antivirus. So these are all the, the updates are there. Now, these are nothing but what? Patches that has need to be installed on the Windows Server 2019 here. Now, let's see if our schedule, automatically patches that. So if I go to my schedule that is associated to this machine, so that schedule has the the definition that is going to be triggered. So it's going to be triggered in within 20 minutes from now. That is at 17:20, right? Which is basically it's basically very late. Okay. Now what I do is we can again manually do that. No problem for that. So we're gonna go on this, select this one, and it says one-time update. So it says there is a button called Azure Update Manager to start one-time updates for this machine. Okay, so like how I started it manually, so like you can also start it, manually as well. But since you have scheduled it, the Azure Update Manager will automatically take care of that in the next cycle. But for now, as part of the demo, I'm going to trigger it manually. Now let's select this machine and click on this one-time update. So it says there may be newer updates available for, to choose from. We strongly recommend you to check for the updates prior to installing the update. So let me try to choose those. Let's select on this machine and we click on updates, right? And there are 4 installation possibles. Okay, so let me select the, yeah, you can choose the anyone, but again, right, so when the update manager runs automatically, so it will try to install all. So let's choose the, the almost, because security is always important, so we're going to choose that as the the security intelligence update one, right? And then we go to the next one, that is priority is this one, maintenance window is this one, and then review and install. Okay, so let me initiate the installation. Okay, so remember that out of 4 I'm installing only one patch. Okay, so don't get confused. So this is how basically you need to maintain the this is how basically the installation will be started. Okay, now you see that currently it has initiated the you see that it has installed the update requested submitted. Okay, so basically it will be submitted and it will try to install those patches. We should see something here, and also there should be some status will be changing. That's what I'm expecting here. All right, now I will again go on a pause and come back because I'm expecting that it has to be started right away. Yeah. Okay, so after waiting for 1 minute, when I refreshed it, you see that there is in progress, that is install updates is in progress, right? And it will take some time, by the way. So the basically the main intention here is to show you that how the Azure Update Manager tries to pull out the all the possible updates for a machine, and how does it queues those to update it, and where does the maintenance window plays a role for the Windows Server. And that is what I wanted to show you here. So currently you see that the update is in progress, so you can check that and get more insight about what is that it is doing. So basically it is trying to install a one patch on the machine. Okay, and you see that the operation is manual update. Okay, and assessment was also manual, but again when you have the schedule attached, so it will do automatically, so that is expected. Now once the that particular patch gets installed, we should see that is getting removed from the scope, and we should see total update equal to 3. That's what I'm expecting. So let us allow this some time and then we're gonna come back. So after waiting for close to 15 minutes, you see that the installation, right? So our installation has started at 7 p.m. and end at 7:22, right? So updated install is out 5 out of 5. So which went succeeded. Okay, so that which means that the required patch targeted, you see that currently it says no pending updates. It has done its job. Okay, so that is what I wanted to show you, that so here we have seen, like from scratch to end, how does that you can integrate a Windows Server 2019 to be managing its update by the Azure Update Manager. Now, while I complete this one, let me take you to the virtual machine and show you how does it looks in the operations. So let me refresh this page, or let me completely refresh this virtual machine blade, and then we go to the operations blade, and then from there we go to the the updates. Okay, so then I wanted to show you that, how does it looks there. So we go to the updates here. Now you see that total updates equal to, it was earlier, it is showing now 0, but earlier it was 4 something. You can always go to the history and try to check. Okay, so in that says that there are 3 deployment happened, in that one failed. Of course it would be failing because we have chosen all updates. Okay, probably some of the updates may not be required. Okay, since this is a demo, I'm showing you this, the result. But in your case, when you have chosen the particular updates and where you are sure about installation is successful, right there, yeah, or else you can always troubleshoot it. All right, so with that note, I have shown you the things need to be shown in this video. Finally, I can request please to subscribe my channel. That would really encourage me a lot. With that note, thank you, thanks a lot, and see you in the next video.